We acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we work and pay our respects to Indigenous elders, past, present and emerging. Sovereignty has never been ceded. It always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Hola! Welcome everybody to another episode of Kachai Australia podcast. Flo, how are you?
Good, and you?
Well, good, thanks.
We
I was going to say welcome.
We have a new song.
This is a new song. It's by Stumps. It's a band that my amigo plays.
Oh.
So, yes,
I
today
like
we have a
it.
special guest.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome, Thiago. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you. How are you guys
Thanks for
doing?
coming.
Yeah, you're welcome. Pleasure.
So, yeah,
Today,
what are we doing today?
We're going to talk about how studying in Australia can help you to enter to the workforce. So it's really important to talk about how us as international students can use this opportunity to get better jobs, to get professional jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk with a professional,
Yes.
with the best person to talk about this topic.
Yes. Let's do it.
Yes.
Thiago Lima, how are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you.
You're looking good. I like your glasses.
Looks
Thiago Lima is Brazilian. It's been in Australia for 14 years, since December of 2009.
Yeah.
Yes?
2008, yeah.
2008. He's a former lecturer for University of New South Wales. He's an entrepreneur. He's a passionate person about education. He's a triathlon.
Good,
Someone
yes.
that does triathlons.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like meaning swimming, running,
Riding a bike.
and riding a bike. And today's head of product for Laneway Education Australia. Thiago is going to be with us talking about how to enter the workforce as an international student, which is a topic that a lot of our audience would like to know. But as a tradition for our show, Thiago,
Yes.
we usually start to doing with section,
Yes.
which is called Quick Fuego Questionnaire,
Oh,
which
that's
is
great.
Yes.
so. I got a question for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, it's very tense. So,
Thanks.
Pelé or Maradona?
Pele.
It's really easy, this one.
Best country to live:
Australia.
Perth or Brisbane?
Brisbane.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
The most overused word:
Resilience.
Vegemite,
No.
caipirinha
Yes.
or ceva gelada?
Caipirinha.
Beach or mountain?
Beach.
When you receive a unwanted call, do you let it ring or you hang up?
Lettering.
Are you a texter or a caller?
A cola.
And that's all I got. I was going to improvise, but I don't have anything more.
no,
Wait,
okay.
wait, let me just. Would you? What if I add between a texter, a caller, or an audio? What are you?
I would say a cola.
A caller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you Flo?
Audio.
Audio all the time.
Yes.
What? And caller? Never caller.
No, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just call to you when I arrive. Can you open the door?
And then have to come.
Yeah.
And Pelé and Maradona. Why do you say Pelé?
Oh man, come on. It's easy to answer, right?
Well, that's it. Thanks for participating in our game, Quick Fire,
Yes.
Quick Fuego. So,
Quick Fuego.
Yeah, let's get into the business.
Yes, the business. Okay, so you work in Laneway. We both know really well Laneway. We both study there. So
You and I.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, I studied 2 years. You too.
I
We
did.
both studied two
Yeah.
years there. So many people came to Australia to study, or many others study just to get a visa. So you are spending time, we are spending money, we are spending so many things. So it's good to get something, to get knowledge, to get ability, contacts, to improve the English, to enjoy, to have friends. So how do you think about how important is to study in Australia to like fit better in the country and then to have the opportunity to get better jobs?
All right, what a great question to answer. So basically, as you guys know, and you have studied at Laneway Education, in Australia you have more than 4,000 RTO, which stands for Registered Training Organizations. And since Laneway was like born, we actually focus on more the experience, community, and also quality. Okay, it's one of the things we actually look into at Laneway is actually get students from 45 different nationalities, which is what we have at the moment, and actually try to make sure they feel home. They also learn, and we follow the new trends, which I love, because education's been a bit old since we know education from our background, and revolutions moving as we go. So now at the moment, I would say that if people looking for like a vocational education system that works connected with their passion and destination approach, what they want to actually get it, it's what Laneway is doing for a lot of different people coming from different cultures, and what it is what we care about, right? So I can go even deeper into that educational format of vocational education, because if you look into the spectrum of education, what it is education for people is being polite, right? Or study a qualification that you can get good at, or looking good for whoever sees you from the outside.
Yes. Well, yeah, no, I know what you mean. We want to focus on education to enter the workforce in Australia.
Great.
Do we need education as an international from any part of the world? Do you reckon you need onshore education in Australia in order to enter the workforce of Australia?
Yes, in my opinion, yes.
Mm-hmm. It's always helpful.
It's always helpful for 3 reasons. Mm-hmm. So when you are an international student coming to a different country, you're looking for a challenge, a change. And that change comes with changing your culture first.
Yes.
So that's the first reason. The second reason is to improve your communication. How are you going to improve your communication? This is a must. It's crucial for international students to be surrounded by like-minded people where they can find the tribe and making sure the communications gets better.
Yes.
In that case here in Australia, in English, right? And also the power of networking as well. Because we can evolve as humans and professionally if we are surrounded by people that actually looks like you, or at least gives you some direction for you to build your own destination, right? Especially these days where the market's like booming and we have got a lot of opportunities out there. So the more people you know, closer you are to achieve your goals. So that's what I say.
And I think that also for me was really useful to have to make like a lot of presentations, to talk to in public. Was online, but you were to talk like to 20 like strange people about your business or about your idea or whatever. So I think that was really, really useful for me, like to get used to speaking English like in public.
Yeah. Because one thing is to come and have a conversation with someone at the bar.
Yes.
But then he's talking about a business or business plan.
Yes.
And all these sorts of things that you do when you are, in a school here. Let's be honest. For a lot of people from international countries, they get a student visa in order to stay in Australia, right?
Yeah.
I guess my question is, why would we? What's the benefits? What's the pros and cons to study something as an vocational? What's it called? A vet vocational. Vocational
educational training,
or a degree, or a PhD, or higher education. But why is that better than just coming on a working holiday visa? Maybe that's too general, the question, but
yeah, there's
just topic too.
I think depends of so many things. Depends of your country, because some countries don't have the opportunity to get the work and holiday visa.
Yeah.
Depends of your age.
Yes.
And obviously depends of your level of language of English.
Yeah.
But I think it's really useful.
Yeah.
Because you can learn like so many things,
Yeah.
but also you are gonna be speaking in English. You are gonna
Exactly,
be having friends.
Yeah.
Like the moment you arrive to Australia,
Yeah.
you're gonna have like friends.
Yeah.
So yes, I think this is important
Yeah.
and is useful. And the vet courses are really good options because they are not that expensive as a master or a bachelor degree.
Yeah.
So it's good because you go to classes just 1 or 2 days in the week.
Yeah.
Not like if you are studying English that you have to go 5 days. So you have a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
The thing is that there's so many options that it's easy to find very bad quality courses.
Yes.
So that's
It's easy to get lost among all the communication that is around there.
Yes.
Hence, the importance of good schools like Laneway. What you were saying about the community, I want to ask you about that. The community that Laneway's got, it's unreal because it's located in a co-working space. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Basically, when we decided to open Laneway, actually we chose the space, this special space where we are
The physical space.
Physical space, yeah. So we are located in one of the biggest startup, actually the biggest startup hub in Australia, which is the Sydney Startup Hub, located at Wynyard Station here in Sydney CBD. So, and that there's a purpose behind it, If you talk about, I gave you the pillars of a good education, right? So especially for international students arriving now.
Yeah.
So communication, community, and networking, right? So we could combine that in a good space. So when people actually was really funny these days, we actually already passed the pandemic, right? Let's say, but a lot of students, they arrived in the country 2 years ago. They didn't have the feeling of having classes face to face.
Yes, that happened to us.
Yeah, it happened to me. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and then when they start getting back slowly by the regulators, we gotta have to get back face to face by June next year. So we progressively getting back face to face. So when I say to the students, when you are in a building, try to talk to people, right? Because from the beginning, you can get a lift with somebody important, right? That you can learn from something, learning from them something, right? Even like a connection can happen from, the first moment you get into the building. So the importance of the location is actually, it's unbelievable, the aspects of it, because from ground floor to the 11th.
Yes. There's all different companies and startups, and it's so cool. When I go to the city, I like to go there just for a coffee and just just.
And also the location is really good.
Yeah, it's really really good.
It's perfect. Yeah.
And let's talk about business because you know a lot about business. You business entrepreneur. What are the opportunities for international people to start business here, and is that related to Laneway in any way?
Yes, for sure. So actually, as an international student, when you arrive in a country, you have rights to work, right? So that means you are, you are residents for tax purposes. That means you can any student can open a company in Australia, right? So, and being in a place like that generates, that feeling of, I just arrived in Australia. I don't know what I'm going to do because we recently had one student coming from Canada.
Wow.
That if you go to Bondi,
Yeah.
I actually don't remember on top of my head now the name of the pub, the bar that they opened, but it's a bar in front of like Bondi Beach,
Wow.
and they are our students, right?
Wow.
So, and then these guys like getting the opportunity of studying a good school,
Yeah.
getting the knowledge, because when you study, you know, in a place that people can give you some access, and we focus on like mentorship programs as well. You not only have a trainer that's training you what to learn, you know, about business in a country, but also helping guiding them if they actually open something for real.
Yeah.
So then the trainers become mentors, right, for them. So it's a close relationship, and we call that family. So in a lot of places that where you go, you can see some Laneway students, which is now make me really happy.
That's
to
good.
see.
So
Yes.
creating businesses and creating jobs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of anyone can do that, but I'm saying I've seen more recently, I've seen a lot of new students
Yeah.
already going for the game.
Look, I've been here 6 years, and also the podcast for us is a business itself. You know, it's a
Yeah.
project
Yes.
that we manage. And we met a long time ago, working together actually, and it's always been this topic about creating your own business. And I think it's easy, but for me personally, it took me so long to actually do it,
Yeah.
and then know about numbers, know about Thiago is. He loves numbers and finance. What did you study in Brazil again?
I studied economics and administration
Yes.
and finance.
And finance,
in
so
my
yeah.
master's. Yeah.
So you have experience in that. But yeah, it's unbelievable how easy first education is here to actually study here.
Yeah.
Like it's just sometimes one, as you say, 1 day, 2 days a week, and then you get a good degree that will give you
Yeah.
good opportunity and community to work here, but also to actually create your own business.
Yes.
And so
Yeah, for me it was really useful to study the diploma of entrepreneurship and have my own business, because helped me a lot. Like every time that I was thinking that, okay, I can't do this anymore, I have classes, and then after class I was like, okay, yes, it's gonna be the biggest vegan restaurant in the area.
yeah,
Yeah, happens
because you were
all the
working on your own
time.
project.
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
And again, the community, right? So it wasn't only the trainer, empowerment on that particular class, but also could see people doing the same,
Yes.
going towards the same direction,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's the feeling, that's the community I'm always talking about. Because when you speak about tribes and
Yeah.
following your own destination and build your goals, you gotta find people that can inspire and empower you to do that. So, and when you go,
And you guys believe in mentorship and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, mentoring, especially when you are in a different country,
Yeah.
you get attached to people that are actually showing results.
Yeah.
Right, and it not necessarily gotta be an Australian guy, but you have a lot of foreigners that could make their life here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that connects to the students a lot. So when I say mentorship programs, we not only speaking about the trainers, but are also doing a lot of events, asking our stakeholders, our partners, to come and share their own experience in the country, where they can actually, students can get attached to that, their history and stories about, successful stories, and also people that failed but could actually build that up again.
Yeah, and it's important to share failure stories. You have a few, and you have also stories of success. Your wife, she's an entrepreneur too. She had several companies, as Thiago. I want to talk about I don't know, Flo, but like I was reading this list of the top 10 most in-demand jobs in Australia at the moment. As we all know, it's like trading, like carpenters, nurses because of COVID as well, and like electrician and all of those careers they're always been in the list.
Yes.
But recently, this one has pop up in the list, which is ICT businesses and system analytics. And I want to talk about that. I was recently in a conference, Thiago, and one of the key speakers said, the old saying was, data is the new oil, which is the new essential thing to mine, you know. But then nowadays, we know that data is actually the new asbestos. I was in an important meeting when that person said that, and I'm like, what? If you don't know what asbestos is, it's a construction material used back in the 80s that with studies we realized that it's in a lot of Australian houses, and it actually give you cancer.
Yeah.
So
it's contamination.
Yes, contamination. So definitely no bueno, no good.
Yes, no good.
So why did that guy said data now is the new asbestos? And as we know, in the news in the past 2 weeks, it was a massive leak of data for Medibank and the recent one for Optus.
Yes, two big companies in Australia.
Really big companies in Australia, and they had so much data leaked.
Crazy.
So that's what the new asbestos is coming. Like, it's so much data around that we could actually get really harmed by, you know, cyber security. Like, and so is that something that you want to talk about?
Actually,
it's I love this. I love it. I love it.
I love this topic because that's, you know, it's a topic for us to think about. It's happening now. It's already present, and it's gonna have a lot of things to change, you know, along the, you know, the way. So first thing we gotta analyze here, data or data.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I literally asked an Australian friend, do you say data or data? He goes, both. I'm like, what? Who understands English,
just one,
man?
please.
Just pick one.
Yeah.
Apparently it's both.
Both of them, they are correct, so that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So there's, you know, you're going to analyze, you know, working education. You become really, you know, you look into the science of the facts, right? So basically, data. It is actually, it's a lot of people talking about these days for one reason. Everything is becoming digital.
Yes.
So when you digitalize, you know, information, that becomes data. That's the reason why people are talking about it. And you should be careful. It's becoming asbestos, yes, because it's something new that grows quickly, right? So you can see this here. So we're talking to thousands of people. People can have access
millions,
to it.
Actually.
Millions. So billions, let's say.
Okay.
So, and people will have access to this information.
Exactly, yeah.
But the point is, it's actually gets to another area of business that I love, which is the module of business and objectives and business direction. Because recently we had, you know, this occasion, like a lot of big problems with Medibank, Optus, you can name it, right? But when some cybersecurity, you know, issues happen, it's not because of probably there's a gap that the hacker can get it, but it's the business direction, because the risk, whoever manages the unit of business, talking about, you know, big corporations, there's also like always a unit, they assume their risk. You know, sometimes they can see where the problem is, but they can say, like, this is not going to affect the entire corporation. But it is them.
Yeah.
Right? So it's more about risk management
Yes.
than cybersecurity itself.
Correct. So being that a threat, what's the opposite of that threat? Does that present as well as a opportunity for international students or international people to come and find a job in there, or, you know, develop a skill in that?
And that comes to education.
Exactly.
You know, these days, right? So we can talk about, you have mentioned you know, I'm just going to connect to what you said before with this topic. So if you look into the education, the old style, we had vocational education for people who wants to get qualified, get their skills to actually enter in the workforce. That's why That's what vocational education is for. And then we have got one example of vocational education is the TAFE here as well.
Yep.
Right. So you can get qualified, get their skills, and go to the market. And then we have higher education, which is, we've got a couple of higher education providers and universities, right? So before, just doing a quick analysis here, if you study IT in the past, let's say 15 years ago, like for that particular IT profession, they had to study hard for 4 to 5 years, pay a big amount of money, let's say the full qualification. Sometimes they couldn't get a job when they finish university and keep paying for at least 2 or 3 more years after they get the first job, right? But now, get to the present. That's what I really like from this the terminology at the moment people's talking about is micro-credential, right? So what it is a micro-credential? It's a short course.
Wow.
Right? A short course where people, they don't need to actually do the full qualification unless it's regulated and needed. And they can test it out, test drive something. Oh, you want to work with video? Do a course like with video cameras and see if you're gonna like it. You're gonna spend less. The accessibility is quicker.
Yeah.
And then you can test it out. Don't get a finance, go to the bank and ask for finance to pay for the course, which we used to do in the past. And you're probably gonna get a job because have a couple of IT partners, that you, especially in cloud computing, for example, like a candidate or someone is studying cloud computing, right, or data analysis. They can do a quick course, 3 months, get their certification, and then, with the minimum,
they can enter the workforce.
They can enter in the workforce
Wow.
and then finish it off. The full qualification if you need it. So
that's so smart.
Can you see the accessibility?
Yes.
So spending less, testing out, not frustrating both sides, and that's education for real. I would say that's education for real because you're building your own destination. You're building blocks. I'll test this, I'll test that, and see.
That's amazing.
It's totally different how we understand education in South America.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So in South America, you have to go to the university.
Yeah, because it gives you a status.
Also, yes. Also gives you a
Don't
status.
you reckon?
Yes, it does, but it's not necessarily these days.
Yes.
Because, it depends on which area you would like to study. If you're in health, for example,
you
to
have
become a doctor, you have to.
Yeah.
Right? So, probably a lawyer, right? But if you're in business and you want to test it out, best way to do a couple of courses, you can do and connect in the right community and start your own business, learning from your mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And making sure you want to focus in data analysis to actually know how many clients you're going to need, do a proper research for the business direction, for the business, environment, for the ocean you're swimming.
Yeah.
Right? So analyzing data.
Yes.
And then you probably connect in a course to network with someone that can provide you clients.
Yes. And talking about the workforce again, for you, which one are the 3 more important elements or abilities to find a professional job in Australia?
Wow. Before you answer, that's a really good question. I just want to compliment you. That was amazing. That was amazing. Really.
I really like this question because, if you look into I've been here for
14 years.
14 years, since 2008. And you see how, technology evolved. Somebody's arriving in a country these days. I would say that's like the 3 ingredients I would put in my cake would be attitude, right? The right attitude. Because one of the biggest issues that impinges people to actually, unlock and get a job on the first day, actually that happens. I will tell the story that happens at Laneway with one student that just arrived. But understanding the culture, right? But if you these days, before coming to Australia, we're gonna have access to a lot of communities out there, like Facebook community.
Yeah.
Listen to you guys.
Do you mean the
here.
Australian
Yes.
culture, the culture that you enter?
Yeah, the culture.
Well, that's our aim as a podcast, is to educate people and new generations to understand and respect the culture in order for them to enter in the workforce, enter in the social life.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So please, if you listen to us, listen to these guys here, because that's important. That comes first.
Yeah.
So understand the culture.
100%.
Totally. Yeah.
And then having the right and positive attitude, you are definitely gonna find a job that you're looking for, because the country is begging for people,
Yes.
and they're every single day new companies are people are building new companies, and you're always gonna need people. Regardless the evolution of artificial intelligence, or you're gonna have different jobs. And most importantly, getting to the second most important aspect, communication. People will need us, humans, to actually do what the computers they don't do, which is like
The communication.
what I love from the South Americans and how could get me into the workforce. It's our empathy that we have, our ability to treat people well, listen to them, making, having fun
Yeah.
also, right? So this is the second, communication, I would say. And the third would be, resilience. In a way that I actually got a phrase for it, because in Australia you got ups and downs.
Yeah.
And one thing that I have learned in Australia is not fight against time. Let it go, let it be.
Wow.
Learn,
That's huge.
learn,
Meaning,
listen to people, because sometimes you're trying to
so
find
hard.
the
Yeah.
quickest way, but you gotta have to learn that.
Yeah, it's all about the process.
Even
not
if
the,
it's if it's hard, that gives you a good sign.
Yeah.
So again, never fight against time.
that's so good. Thanks, man.
Yes.
You mentioned
So good.
you mentioned fun.
Having fun.
Yeah. Speaking of fun, we're gonna stop this really good conversation, and we're gonna play a fun game. Is that
Yes.
correct, Flo?
Yes.
This game is called Sí or No.
Yes. Yes or no?
Yes. So yes or no.
Yes.
How do you say yes or in Portuguese?
Sing.
Same. Same. I was pretty
Oh
much.
no.
Same or
Same
no?
or no?
Or no.
Same
And you
or
gotta do
no?
it like this.
And just to you. No, nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, you go first.
So what's the rules?
You take one.
Okay. Oh no, you pick it up from me. I'll get mine.
Okay.
So
You have to read it.
I read it. Yeah.
It's gonna be a question or an affirmation,
Okay.
and then you have to count until 3, and we all respond at the same time.
Okay.
Okay.
Sí or no
Sí or no, or
Okay.
yes or no. Doesn't
to
matter.
this thing?
To this.
Is it 1, 2, 3, go, or is it 1, 2?
1, 2, 3, and we say
Oh, sorry, 1, 2, 3, go.
no. What? Yes.
Okay.
But you don't have to say go. 1, 2, 3. Five.
Okay, I'm ready. Would you ever go back to school?
No.
Wait.
No, wait.
As in school, like elementary school, whatever
Yes.
school.
Yes.
Would you ever go back to school? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
No. Why is this kind of people who say like, I would love to come back to school, it was so fun? No.
Hey, yes.
No way.
You know when people say, "Oh, if I would go back to school, I would do so many things different." I'm like, I would probably study less and just have
Yes,
more fun, meet more
for
people,
Sure. Yes.
Travel more.
travel more. Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I prefer to come back to university.
University was fun.
Yes. But
Because it's more social.
yeah, but no. I prefer this part
Yeah.
of my life.
Or education, like the one that you were talking, like which is where when you
Yeah.
pick and choose, something what you want.
It's already happening in elementary and high, elementary and how do you call?
Secondary.
Secondary.
High school.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Really?
It's already happening. So instead of having, they can choose. Some schools they're giving the option for them to choose what they want to study.
It happens to me. The last 2 years,
Yeah.
I have the possibility to choose like between, I don't know, more hours of Spanish
Yeah.
or math,
Wow.
or some another kind of courses that you prefer, like music or art, or one about like news.
Crazy.
Or yes,
That's so good.
yes, it was really cool.
Do you want to go?
Okay.
Your turn.
All right, so orange juice with pulp is better than orange juice without pulp.
With Paul. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Yes. But
Wait, without a... Sorry, can you read? Wait, read again, please.
Wait, without is
Orange with
With.
is better than without.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, when I go buy orange juice, I always buy the one that says double pulp.
double.
Double. I love it. It's like because you're actually eating like an orange.
Yeah. No, but to be honest, I don't like the orange juice.
Why not?
I don't know. I like just if it's completely natural.
Yes. True.
But I don't like
Have you seen the
any
ones in
other
Australia in the supermarket?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
Coles or Woolworths, so you
Yes.
can go and then.
Yeah, but
Machine
explain it if people don't know. Maybe like it's a weird machine that you actually put an orange.
Yeah.
And then the thing goes like down the way, and then it becomes juice right in front of you.
They
Yeah.
put the bottle at the,
Yeah.
you know.
Apparently that happens in Brazil, right? No.
But in Chile too.
Really?
Like in La Copec.
On the street.
In La Copec.
They don't sponsor us, so don't mention it.
Or in the street.
All right,
Okay.
so we all agree. Go with the last one, Flo.
Okay. Babies should be banned from movie theaters. Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have babies?
Not
No,
yet.
no, yeah. Okay.
But it's not a place for them.
I know, man.
Yes,
When you
I
watch a
agree.
movie, and
No.
what about airplanes? Airplanes.
Oh.
No, airplanes,
Because it's
nothing to do,
family,
yeah,
isn't it?
family,
Yes,
yeah.
it's annoying, but well, you don't have any other option. Sorry, you can't travel if you have a baby? No.
I would feel bad if, I bring a baby to the cinema and
Yeah.
like, the baby
Yeah.
start crying,
Yeah, but-
unless you operate like a cinema business and you give like apparently here in Australia they have got a particular time
Yeah.
for moms to go.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Maybe.
So that then it's fine.
Yeah, but I feel really bad with the parents when you are in an airplane and the
Yeah.
kids are crying.
Yes.
The parents feel so bad.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yes.
makes me feel bad as well.
I always try to help.
Yes.
Yeah, but you can't stop,
Go on, mate. Read the room, mate. Like, come on.
How you can help?
Wait, what about this? Are you guys, when you go to the movies,
Uh-huh.
are you a food bringer? Like, do you bring food or no? 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Yes.
But not that much. Like not
Okay.
a burger.
But popcorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
But no. But I'm saying like you bought it before from the supermarket.
Yeah. Because Australian popcorn are really bad.
I do.
You do?
Because when you go to the cinemas normally inside a shopping center.
True.
And sometimes you don't want to, I was in a diet and didn't want to eat popcorn. I bought something in the restaurant,
Okay.
like a random one, and then I brought inside. That's fine.
Yeah, but what was it? Like sushi?
Salad, sushi, or,
Oh, salad. All right.
or burger, whatever.
A burger? Are you kidding?
Yeah?
One day I went with a friend. He bought a full Thai food. You
Yeah.
know, like a red curry.
Yeah.
It's so smelly.
Yes.
And then he went to the cinema with the taba.
Yeah.
And
The
like,
container,
the
yeah.
container, like eating like this. I'm like, mate, that's just not. It's not on. You're
No,
meant to
it's
buy
too
like
much.
lollies, like chocolate, stuff like that.
Chocolate's fine. yeah.
Chocolate, but not.
No, I'm just
I
popcorn.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Popcorn
wouldn't
for
do
me.
that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
They don't care in Australia, eh?
No.
In South America they do.
They do.
Yeah, you
They look at
can.
your backs.
Yes.
Whereas here, like they don't care. They can bring whatever.
Yes.
It's so expensive though to go to the movies.
So expensive.
Yeah, it's a bit, but it's worth it,
Yeah.
Oh really?
With the nice shares, when how do you call that? Deluxe or
Deluxe.
luxury or
Yeah.
I love the old school like cinemas that are here around. They are so cool.
Yeah.
the open air ones?
The open air. Yeah, I used to work in one of
yeah.
those. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I traveled the country with them.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
So
that's really cool. It's a
cool.
good business too.
Yes.
Cool. Is that the game?
Yes.
Are we sorted with the game?
Yes. We're
What?
ready.
I got a question for you guys. What's the thing that it got your attention from Australia? Like the thing that I didn't. Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
The thing
can go.
that surprised you the most about Australia.
Ooh.
Who wants to go first, Thiago?
You go. Who wants to go first, Thiago?
The thing that surprised you the most.
Opportunities, I believe. So, opportunities in general, not only for business, but for education. For like, if you open your heart to learn different cultures, you can. I can't count. Like, I've met people from countries I didn't know that existed in the map.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
that's right.
That's so true.
So opportunities, I used to do like, challenge myself, because before, not anymore, but, going to work or whatever it was to meet different people. And then I was talking to random people, and I met like people working from different industries, and I could, meet a doctor, meet someone working garbage company.
Yeah.
And they become friends, like when you were traveling that we met, like in Europe, for example.
Yeah.
I stayed in the house of someone that I met here on the street.
Wow.
Cool.
That's so cool.
So opportunities in general, like if you would like to do different sports. I never thought that I would be doing a triathlon,
Yeah, that's true.
you know.
And now you're an avid triathloner.
Yeah, but that's true.
No, I
admire
admire that from you, like, because I know that you're a soccer, football player, but now when I met you here, you were like, oh no, I want to challenge myself to do this, even though it's out of my comfort zone. So yeah, I believe that's really
a
true.
reason behind it.
Yeah.
So actually, so when someone say, oh, how did you start doing triathlon? First of all, it was a challenge, right, for me, because I was unhealthy. Because I traveled and I put like 25 kilos on.
Yeah.
And then I start, my parents, they have got diabetes, and I start feeling unwell. And then my father also need a new kidneys, and I was only the one compatible.
Yeah.
And my health would be better than
Yeah.
it was before. And I was finding something to focus on.
Yeah.
And actually make sure my health I was fighting against myself. And that's why I started like, okay, I didn't know how to swim, I will learn.
Cool.
And I will.
Did you learn here?
Yes.
Wow, that's huge.
I brought like how to swim properly.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the techniques.
Yeah, we were talking about that
Yes,
before,
in a
like
good
the
way.
crawl.
Yeah, but that's true about the opportunities in Australia.
Yeah.
You have so many opportunities.
What's the thing that you?
I think it's the feeling of security.
Okay, yeah.
Like feel that
Safety.
safety, that you're safe the whole time.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Like you can walk with your phone in your hand
Yeah.
and nothing is gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's-
No, that's huge.
It's huge.
That's
Yeah.
So weird.
When I go to
Especially for us coming from South America, you know.
Yeah, when you go to the office, in the city, you can see people going like to one building to the other with the laptop,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
on the hand,
So true.
open and like
That would
Yes.
never happen in South America.
going back
Never.
going back
You can
home.
see people in the train
Yeah.
with the computer,
Sending emails.
like sending emails, doing things.
That's so true.
You can leave
Wow.
your things here and go
Yeah.
there to pick something and come back, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be there.
These days you should be careful a little bit, but
Yeah. Guys, we need to wrap up. I'm just gonna answer. For me, is the no gap thing. In meaning that, what do I mean by that? When you said about the garbage man, you meant the garbo.
You're too Aussie now, mate.
It's
Yes.
the like I could be in a barbecue with, I could be a
Yeah.
business owner and CFO, CEO, whatever, and having a barbecue with someone which is a garbage man,
Yeah.
and there's no difference.
Yes.
That is status, like that. What's the word for it? It's just like, this in South America, there's people, oh, you have this job, or you study
You have
here or
to,
there.
yeah.
You're like, you're better. And like here, you don't care. Like, obviously, there's differences,
Obviously, yeah.
but there's not as
No, but it's amazing that you can live in the same building
Yeah.
that a doctor and you
Exactly.
as international students,
Yeah.
and as a guy who works like
Yeah,
in the cleaning the house.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's
going back
true.
to the opportunities, and I
Yeah.
think you're an example of that, Thiago, because you came here 14 years ago, and I know it hasn't been easy. I know that you had to labor, like all of us. You worked in kitchens, we worked, in construction, and then you ended up working in one of the biggest universities in Australia, and then also now what you do in Laneway is amazing with this new education concept. Just to wrap up, I just wanna give you an open mic, whatever you wanna say regarding this topic or whatever. Say good day to your family, or acknowledging this beautiful time we had here. The mic is all yours. Go for it.
Well, thank you very much. So first of all, we'd like to thank you all for this, this job here, because as we said, you can get to, billion
Yeah.
people
Yes.
out there. And this is a part of education, right? So we're here to share experience, and stopping someone on the streets and learning from it's very important for your journey when you're doing an exchange or when you're doing working in a different country. So my final message here would be, if you're coming to Australia, try to do your homework, going to podcasts like yours and getting to know people that have been in Australia for a while, getting their experience, connect with them, open your heart. And if you're studying something, I would say that I've got a phrase for it. So, education these days is about you building your own destination. So you gotta know your goals. You gotta know what you want to achieve. And then from knowing where you're going, then you build it up the pillars, right? Where it can come from communication, community, and networking.
Yeah. All sorts of things that you can find in Laneway Education Australia, which
Yes.
the three of us had an experience with.
Yes.
We are former students. You work there as head of
And I
product.
think we honestly always recommend the Laneway Education, because for me it has a good balance between get really good knowledge to have the opportunity to have good classes, to develop your own business, your ideas, but also you have your own time to do your jobs, to have your business, to enjoy Australia. So it's perfect for me.
And I
It's
also
a
heard-
good balance.
I've heard from good source that you were one of the best students in your class. Yes, yes, you were.
No.
She was for sure.
I also heard, yeah.
Yeah, you did. Well, we're just gonna wrap up, everyone. Thank you so much, Flo. Do we have to say what else do we have to say?
Nothing. Thank you. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram. Share this with
Episode
everyone.
with your mates. Yeah, give us 5 stars and everything on
Yes.
all the platforms. Thanks for all our community. We're very happy to do in this season.
Yes.
We're very happy to have you here, Thiago.
Thank you, Thiago.
Thank you for your time. Thanks to Laneway, and
Thank
see you
you.
guys in the next one. Ciao.
Thank you.
See ya.
Ciao.
Bye.
See ya.